focus.
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 Focus. Focus. Focus. Focus.
Focus.
Well, you just got to put one foot in front of the other. And, sometimes I think, even for myself, it's easy to become distracted a little bit and start trying to look at what the final picture is going to look like. And, when you do that, you can easily become frustrated with where you are at the moment. So, my advice is just to focus on each day. And, you have a plan in place of how you want to improve and how you want to get better. And you stick to that plan and trust the fact that, every day that you stick to the plan, it'll get you to your end result.
We're very simple people at Apple. We focus on making the world's best product and enriching people's lives. I think some companies, maybe even the one that you mentioned, maybe they decided that they could do everything. We have to make sure at Apple that we stay true to focus, laser focus. We can only do great things a few times, only on a few products.
You want to be totally focused. You can't take your eye off the ball. When I had troubles in the early 90s, a major article came out and it said very strongly, everything he touches turns to gold. And I believed it. So I'd go out with models at night instead of working. But that wasn't good. And I remember I had a big lease coming up, and there was a big show, and I went to the show. I said, don't worry, fellas, you can handle the lease. You'll get it done. Well, I came back, they didn't get it done, and I would have had it done 100%. And then the market crashed in the 90s. So I had trouble, but it was sort of an amazing, I wouldn't want to do it again. It was an amazing test of yourself. Can you handle pressure? How are you under pressure? Are you smart? When everybody's coming at you.
But the common wisdom, the old intelligence idea is to diversify. And what I believe in is something else, is increase your financial IQ, your financial intelligence, and instead focus. And what focus stands for is this. Focus is follow one course till you're successful. And so that's what I did in 1973. I signed up for my first real estate investment course. And I just did it and did it and did it. I bought this one little $18,000 place. And I did it again, and I did it again, and I did it again until the point where I understood it. And then I went into becoming an entrepreneur. And I did it, and I did it, and did it. And I'm still learning. And I'm still learning about real estate. And the reason, in 1966, I got into oil when I went to work for the Standard Oil Company. So today, I'm still focusing. I invest in oil and oil and oil. And I don't diversify. It doesn't mean I don't lose. Sometimes I lose, sometimes I make mistakes and all this. But I just don't buy good as with all the bad. If you're going to be successful as an investor, diversification is good for the average investor. If that's what you want to be, have a good life. But what I'd rather do is be able to know the good ones from the bad ones, the good investments from the bad investments, the good advisors from the bad advisors, and what's good for me and what's not good for you. Because what I do is not necessarily what's going to work for you, and vice versa here. So that's why I really think instead of diversification or diversifying, the new rules of money say follow one course until you're successful, and then keep doing it. Because once you find that way of being successful, you can do it again and again and again.
Well, the problem with some of our younger generation today, they just want to jump and see themselves up there, overnight. It doesn't really happen. What you need to do is to be very, very focused as a person and be dedicated to whatever that you are doing. It is not really good for you to now go and try something, then after a month you just say, no, it doesn't work. You jump into something else. I think you need to be very, very focused in what you are doing. Once you believe in what you are doing, you see, you should not take your either business or job as something that you must do. Okay, you must take it as it's part of your hobby. If it's part of your hobby, then you do it better.
You have to keep yourself focused on whatever you're
ultimate goal is. There's stumbling blocks all the way. People get laid off, you have a bad game, you get traded from a team that you don't want to be with. But if your goal and your focus remains the same, that, hey, this is going to happen, and I know I have the skills and I have the knowledge and I have the instincts to dig myself out of this hole, you will dig yourself out of the hole. You have to control the situation. Don't let the situation control you.
Focus, what we talked about today was just, in my office, I run my company much like a team. In sales and marketing is like offense, and manufacturing distribution is like defense, and finance and IT are like the special teams. But what you find out is that all those pieces, the companies that win are the ones that communicate the best. And it's not one team's on the field at a time. We're all on the field at the same time. And so I think the ability, number one, to communicate, and number two, to focus. Too often, I get pulled all the time of, what you guys should make is you should make one of these or make one of those, and why don't you do anything for pets, and how could you go there? Great brands are like great stories, and every great story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And our job is to make sure that every chapter of our stories makes sense to the one in front of it, and makes sense to the one after it.
Clausewitz, the famous Prussian general, said, focus on the few, not the many. And the most common error that I see in reasonably successful businessmen and women are that they try to do too many things. And focus on the few, not the many.
I just want entrepreneurs to know, number one, you're in the right place at the right time, but it has to be the right you in the right place at the right time. Number two, why I say that is because the definition of an entrepreneur, or a person in business, or even a person in a job, is a person who solves problems for people at a profit or for pay. So what are you? You are a problem solver. The biggest mistake almost everyone makes in the world of business and finance and money is they go out and they look for opportunities. Bad move. Go ahead. What's an opportunity? How do you know? It's almost impossible to find, right? So, don't look for opportunities. Look for problems. Look for problems. Solve a specific problem for a specific person. Duplicate that. The end result is rich. Yeah. If you want to be rich, don't focus on money. Don't focus on rich. Focus on solving a problem, a specific problem for a lot of people.
Focus on signal over noise. A lot of companies get confused. They spend money on things that don't actually make the product better. So, for example, at Tesla, we've never spent any money on advertising. We put all of the money into R&D and manufacturing and design to try to make the car as good as possible. I think that's the way to go. So, for any given company, just can keep thinking about, are these efforts that people are expending, are they resulting in a better product or service? And if they're not, stop those efforts.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'd love to know which of the 10 points that we mentioned meant the most to you, as well as how do you stay focused in your business and on the tasks that you need to get done. Leave it in the comments below. I'm going to join in the discussion. Thank you again for watching. Continue to believe, and I'll see you soon.